Hi, it's Russ from Pro Tools Expert, and I'm going to be showing you and reviewing a new product from UVI. It's called Electro Suite. It's aimed at dance producing, and it consists of 5 different products in one. And it's called Electro Suite, as I say. And it's a combination of a polysynth, a monosynth, a kind of really cool drum shaper, and that's one of my favorites. One called Mission Control, where you can control loads of loops and put filters on them and fade them in and out. Kind of a bit like a mix desk, and we'll look at that in a while. And one called Sweet Machine. So we will start at the top, and we'll load up Common Poly. Now, of course, they're all sample-based, because that's how UVI work. They're sample-based. So they've been recorded in a top studio and then mastered. And they've got these lovely UIs made for them. So this is what you get when you open this. It's a 2-oscillator synth, the Common Poly, with an amp envelope and a filter envelope, LFO, and some of the stuff you can do, and some built-in effects as well. So if I just open one up straight away, and I'll try something like this mod wheel filter plug. And if I, you can see the mod is. So it's kind of nice and vintage, you know, get something else up like a big saw. And we go through the different components of this. So you've got, let's say, 2 oscillators. And if I just turn the second one off for a second, it's got sine, saw. Let's just open up the filter for a second so you can hear it without any filtering on it. And then you've got sort of square with pulse width modulation preset already, so 2, 4, 6, and 8, and 10, and then other saws as well. And combos of those 2, so got a sine and a saw there. Of course, if we now added those together, which one have we got there? We got the sine and saw. Could detune them a bit. And we could then, as I say, we could turn off the put some free cutoff on it as well. Add an amp envelope. So you can see they're very, very editable, even though they're sample-based. And then we have a drive function, a phaser, delay, and sparkle is basically reverb. So a respectable synth, 2-oscillator synth. Very vintage, very dance orientated. As you can see, get some pretty cool sounds out of that. Now the interesting thing is that the Common Poly is probably, for me, the least exciting of all the things that this comes with and ships with. So if I show you Dirty Mono now, there is, it's loading in the program. And it consists of 87 key groups. That'll take a second just to load in, but obviously depending on the speed of your drive and the speed of your computer. I'm on a Mac hearing an SSD drive. So this is Dirty Mono, and this can give you some really cool, dirty sort of arpeggiator sounds and bass sounds and stuff. So give you an idea. And again, 2 VCOs. now the phrasers now working. The phraser is really cool. I'm going to show you that in a second. Just show you some of the sounds first. As you can see, they're pretty cool sounds, actually pretty mean. And in the effects, you've got this bit crusher that's really nice. So you can get some really in-your-face stuff. Let's add that to there. Get it really filthy. As well, you've got a sub here. A noise. So there's a lot of variation there. And as I say, I really do like the sound of this. And again, you can assign to the mod wheel. There's the filter. We can actually take it off the mod wheel. So I say some of the sounds are pretty cool. So now the cool thing is the phrase. The phraser is more than just an arpeggiator, which I really like about it, because all of these are programmable. It's basically a step sequence you can create, so you can record your own thing in. So we can actually clear all of that out, and we can then start with a brand new part. So let's just get one in. Let's just get a synth sound in first. Quite nice, that. Add some bit crushing in it. Vocoderish, and then the phraser. Now we can record in the phraser. And it's a step-based recorder. So what I'm going to do first is take some of these off. Let's start with number 1. Going to record. But that's really, remember, because it's step-based, I've just put 4 straight beats in on a 16th. So if I take this down to 8ths and make this 4, but put 4 long, and now play this. What I could do instead is I could actually clear all that back out again, and we could take all these down all the way to either the bottom, as I say, or just reset to default. We could take this like 16 long instead and make it 16ths and do quite a complex pattern. So I'm going to come up an octave this time, actually. And I'm going to record it. So it's all in there. Shorten the gate on it. Groove it. It's more like a 12-out pattern. And then we can join stuff together. We can link these two together. So there we are, that's Dirty Mono. That's the second one in the range. And then the third one in the range is Drum Shaper. Now, I think this is going to be very interesting to a lot of people watching this video, because Drum Shaper kind of plays upon the whole idea that you stack drums to get the drum sound that you want. And it's a combination of a little pattern drum machine and then some really cool drum parts. And what you have is you have a bass drum that has the attack, the body, and the tone there in 3 parts. Then you have a snare drum, which has a center, 2 outers, and a tone, and with some globals. We have a clap that uses lots of different clap samples that you can then detune and stuff and create really big clap sounds. Then we have hi-hats, which is closed, electro, and open. And then we have the pattern generator here. So let me just go through this quickly with you. So if I play you this pattern that's currently on here, come to the kick drum. So we can go through here and choose lots of different samples that we like. So remember, this is first the attack part that we're looking at. So I could say, okay, I'd like a TR-808 bass drum. Take the body and the tone out for a second. So what we have at the moment there is the high-pass filtering. So we all have the front part of the 808 bass drum. Choose another one instead and get a drumulator. It's quite nice. And the body's here, which is the second part of the drum part. So that's the sort of transient edge. Then the body part's here. Or like that. So we see we add those two together, and then we can add the tone in as well at the bottom. It's an old trick, and I've shown you this actually on my website as well, how to do this with the test tone oscillator. But it's even cooler because we can actually do it here by choose a tone below it. That's nice. So as you can see, get some really, really cool kind of sounds there. Snare next. The snare's different now, so we have a left and a right. A global one in the middle. And again, hundreds and hundreds of different sounds. Just see them there. Lists. Get like a drumulator snare. I like that. Let's tune it up a bit. Add one on the right. We're going to put a different snare again. Quite like that. On the left, we're going to put one. Quite like that. But in fact, I'm going to put the chorus line on both sides. Just give me a little bit of tuning difference. Then there's the tone here. Now the clap one's cool as well. If I play you the clap, it's got loads and loads of claps. Every clap you'll ever think of. RZ1 clap from the old days of the Casio drum machine. You might not remember that, some of you, but it was a really cool sampling drum machine. Bring that in, and we've got these modes where we can sort of make it thicker, add detune, get some really big clap sounds. You can hear it there. There's one. They've got 707 in the second part. Quite like, let's hear those three together. They've got hi-hats as well. Now sparkle all the time is reverb basically. And again we could tune up the closed part of it. There's the closed part, the electric part of it. Now last night I found the RZ1 again on this, and this is really nice. It's a sadly forgotten drum machine, which was really nice. Those four together. So you could build some really cool dance tunes. Then of course you've got the pattern generator here where you can actually create patterns yourself. Shift the claps around on it. On and off the beat a bit, which is nice. And it works just like an 808 or a 909. You just program it just as you would any of the others. Just a step-based pattern sequencer. No, I love this. I think this is a great piece of kit, this. So that's the drum shaper. Then we have, I'm going to move on to the next thing. I'm going to come on to Sweep Machine first, then we'll go back to Mission Control. Now, Sweep Machine is a sweep generator, which I know a lot of you are looking for in dance tracks, and it's really cool. So let me play you. That's what you start off with, but some great presets here. And incredibly controllable. I love it. I think it's a really cool piece of kit. Now, some people might just buy this just for this sweep generator. It's a shame they don't sell each of them separately, because that would be really nice. But as part of a dance sort of construction kit, this is really cool. And that was the next thing I wanted to say, really. So that's the sweep generator. It's got flanger, delay, spark, all these great metal backings you can put to it, so you can choose that one instead. Add sub in. Actually, it's really cool. Perfect for dance tracks. Absolutely perfect. You've got the curves for the sweep in and out. Stuff like that. You can assign it to the mod wheel if you want. And a LFO as well to give it some... take that back off. Very nice indeed. Again, so that one and the drum machine are really cool. I know a lot of you are going to really be excited by that. And the last thing is Mission Control, where you can bring basically a group of samples in and then start building kind of construction sample, sort of like looped areas together. And it's actually easier to see than it is to describe. So give me a second. And sorry, I can't really get my teeth in, get my head around this to show you. But it will be there in 1 second as it loads in. As you can see, a lot of data. And then what you end up with is... here we go, in about 3, 2, and 1 and a bit. So I say you probably not use this for live. So you've basically got these different parts, and let me play you one. Now all of these are controllable. Bring different hi-hats in. Different, you can get them in the list as well if you want them. See, I'm playing it from the keyboard here. And they're in keys. You can see there's a key, got a Blonde Maniac. Kind of a remix station, really. Of course, you can mix them up however you like. Put a high and low pass filter on them. So it's really cool, really cool. Of course, you can tune stuff as well. It's just a case of just going through it and finding stuff that you like. So it's a really cool kind of construction thing. And of course, as well, there's constructor kits built into this as well. So you can go in here and you can get to drum construction kits, musical construction kits. There's all the elements sorted out, all the bass drums, all the loops. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of loops and stuff like that. And then, as I say, you can go through them and choose them. So we can go to a drum construction kit here and just go to Delicious there. Let's go, you can load that in. across the keyboard. So it's got hundreds and hundreds of samples you can use in your tracks as well, and you can trigger those from MIDI and use them in a sequencer. And of course, because it's the UVI workstation, which is a free download, you can then add all these parts in multiples. So we could have the drums in 1, the bass synth in 2, the polysynth in 3, the sweep generator in 4, and just if you go into kind of pro mode on this as well, you can have as many as you like. So there's 4 when you basically load it up, but in pro mode you can have as many as you like. So what do I think? It's a review, as I say. Let's go back to here. So the Carmen Poly, yeah, it's okay, but there's a million synths already out there. The Dirty Mono, I think, is nice with the phrase generator. I think it's got a unique sound of its own. The Drum Shaper, I think, is very cool. And I think Mission Control it has its potentials as well for some of you. And Sweet Machine is very cool as well. So we've got about, out of all 5 of them, we've got about 3 hits and 2 fillers, I would call them. They're not bad, but as I say, there's a million synths out there already. And Mission Control, who knows, some of you might think that's brilliant. I'm not really finding uses for it in my production workflow. But as I say, Sweet Machine is a killer. Drum Shaper is very good as well, and Dirty Mono is great for producing some really cool bass or art parts. So I say UVI Workstation, go and check it out on their website. I think it's, as I say, pretty cool, and I think it's about a couple of $100 to get. So for some of you, you're going to love it and go for it straight away. As I say, things like the Drum Shaper and things like that. And some of you may think, well, actually, no, it's just too much of a stretch for what I'm going to get from it. So there we are. That's my review of it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.